Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Bunny Muffins. I got a sharpshooter video for you guys today. A lot of people have been asking me, like, yo, you keep talking about the Sivir, like, Zodiac build, or not Zodiac, EXODIA build, and how do you do it? What do you need for it? And how do you play it? So, in my most recent meta snapshot, I talked about how Last Whisper, RFC, and Quicksilver Sash on Sivir 3-star, it's like almost an auto win. It's as close as you can get to one. Obviously, like, you could say, like, oh, 3-star Swain's an auto win, and that would be true. And like theoretically, like you could still lose with 3-star Sivir. It's just very difficult to, against the average board. But now that we got that out of the way, like we have the sharpshooter chosen. Now I'm just looking for some sort of front line for my team. And we have a bow and a belt right now. I lost the carousel. I don't know about you guys, but I'm losing a ton of carousels lately. It like depends on the day. Some days I win every carousel. Some days I lose every carousel. And yeah, it's a bit of a struggle. So we have a sword and a belt here. Just keep in mind, I don't plan on doing like some sort of reroll probably. I think I just want to play like decent units. As you can see here, I'm thinking about what to sell to level up. And then probably going to slam a Zeke's here because Zeke's is just a good early game item. That's all I can really play right now. I said before, you always want to both level up and make an item or not level up and not make items. Generally, that's going to be the better way to play on average. And the reason behind that is because if you are leveling up, you're trying to go for a win streak. So how do you maximize the chances of getting a win streak? Well, you build items to do that. And if you are not trying to go for a win streak, then don't level up and pretty much just chill after that, Unlucky here, we lose anyways after slamming items. This guy's pretty strong. He's got a mix of frontline 2-star and backline 2-star, and that's stronger than just like my 1-2-star. So unfortunate there. We also are like missing some of the synergies. We're like 2 out of 3 Warlord, 2 out of 3 Dragon Soul. So just a little unfortunate there. But right now, like, even though I'm saying I'm going to sharpshooters, I don't want this Nidalee chosen all game. That's why I slammed the item on her. I plan on selling that Nidalee. And then after that, like, we could go into all sorts of builds with a Zeke and a bow start. We could go Kayle, we could go Olaf, we could go Shyvana like we saw in the other video. Lots of different options, and you always want to play flexibly. Like, I only know that we are going sharpshooters because, like, the game already happened. So, like, I'm just telling you guys, like, how I did it. So you could kind of look at this game and look at the Shyvana game from before and see like the subtle differences between them. But like the items are actually like pretty similar. With like the same item starts, we could go for either builds and Olaf in addition. And I think that's pretty interesting because right now, a lot of the strong comps, they're not necessarily like the best late game power spike compositions. Instead, they're more so just like, oh, if there are 3 good comps that use the same items, like those 3 comps are going to be really good, Even though like some random comp, if they get like perfect items and like they hit their units, they might technically be stronger in the late game. It won't really matter because if the popular comps all use the same items, they're going to hit a strong comp pretty easily. And because of that, they don't have to roll as much. So they could go to level 8, they could go to level 9, and things like that. If you guys were unclear about what I just said, do let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to explain it again, maybe in a future video. But right now, let's just focus on the gameplay. We actually lost 3 in a row, so unlucky. We built an item, and we leveled up. We're still missing 2 synergies. No Warlord, no Dragon Soul in our shop, so it's a little unlucky. We're kind of just running an extra sharpshooter. We also don't have a 2-star tank, but we do have a bow, so we could go for something like maybe like a Last Whisper, maybe a Runons, maybe an RFC. All those items are pretty good. I don't really know which one's the best here. I grabbed the bow because I'm thinking like, oh, maybe with the Zeke's already, I could go ahead and build Kayle, so grab as many bows as I can. I like having 3 bows on Kayle, 1 for RFC, 1 for Rageblade, or Duelist Spatula. I like that balance a lot. All right, so new shop. We also get a Lucky Lantern. Let's see what we hit here. We get another bow, lucky me. So that's an easy RFC slam because what else am I going to do with 3 bows? And then we also get a loaded dice. So with loaded dice, what that tells me at least is reroll is going to be pretty good. So you might want to figure out a way to try to do some sort of reroll. And what's a good reroll comp with what I have right now? Probably like reroll Sivir wouldn't be too bad. Reroll Shyvana wouldn't be too bad either. So I could kind of look for either of those 2 routes as we go into the mid game. What does this guy have? He has the Shyvana already and a Sunfire Cape. Okay, so he's kind of like, that's pretty strong in my opinion. Sunfire Cape, probably the best early game item. Just because fights last so long, so you get the most out of the Sunfire ticks. So that's why that's the best item in the early game. And yeah, unlucky, lose here. That's a pretty big loss. That's a 4-unit loss. So we're on a 4 lose streak. It's not too bad. Our econ's kind of bad. As long as we lose this next game, we get like a 5 streak going into neutral camp. And that isn't too bad. So do I want this Jarvan? Probably not, because he's holding the bow, so I'm just going to go ahead and sell that and swap in something else. Keep in mind, I also do want to keep my lose streak, so I'm going to make my board as weak as possible and make interest while trying to like not have like a completely trash team, you know? So I'm just going to spread my team out. I'm not going to get any Zeke's buffs for my Nidalee. And again, the reason behind that is because I'd rather lose 10 life here than win a round and like miss out on all that gold, because going into neutral camps on a 5 streak, you get 3 bonus gold, both for losing this round and during the neutral round. So that's like 6 gold I gained there, or it's actually 5, because if I win a game, I technically get a gold, and that's a huge difference. But unlucky here, I end up winning the round without using my Zeeks. So, man, this guy's also level 5, so it's not like I face someone who's level 4. So at this point in the game, I'm feeling pretty bad about myself, or pretty sad. So if you guys are in this situation ever, like, don't fret. There's always a chance to come back, but you never want that to happen. I tried my best to lose. Like, apart from selling Tristana, for example, or selling my Nidalee, I pretty much did everything I could to try to lose. Like, I didn't use Zeke's. I sold off my good units. I skipped a Jarvan 2, and then I just, like, put my units around randomly and not maximizing my items. I don't know. I guess that guy was just that weak, so unlucky me. We don't get to get 5 extra gold this game, which honestly is pretty big, because now our econ is so bad because we did not get to make interest because we leveled up a bunch, because we thought we were going to win streak by building like 2 items. So not the situation you guys want to be in, but you know, you live and you learn, and yeah, that's all we can do there. You know, just because you do something doesn't mean it'll always work out. So here we get a Sejuani. I'm going to drop that in. I really want the 4 sharpshooter, because I feel like that's a pretty good power spike, because then I could put another person in the backline to use the Zeeks. But we just don't get that yet. But going into this next one, wow, this guy has Duelist Spatula, Jeweled Gauntlet, and Guardian Angel. I wonder what comp this guy's going. Definitely not Kale, which is unfortunate, because we have very good Kale items, because we have the RFC and an extra bow and a Zeeks already. So we already have one guy who's for sure going to be contesting us, because you can't go any other comp with those items. So a little unlucky there. So when someone does that to you, you got to think to yourself like, oh, what can I do to counteract that? Well, finding 2 Sivers in your next shop is one way to do it. You could also kind of like give up on Kale, or only get guild Kale if you get like super good starts for it. Super good start would be something like hitting a Kale during stage 3, or like on your 4-1 roll down, hitting a Kale 2. Those would be like kind of the only situations where I'd go for it now, just because I found this Sivir, or double Sivir already. So I'm just gonna keep Nidalee for now. I do need to sell her eventually, because I want to swap items over. But even in this spot, there's still no guarantee that I'm gonna be going for Sivir, because I could still go Olaf. That's also an option. I could even go Zed at this point if I get like a random Zed chosen after selling Nidalee, but most likely not. Let's see how we do here. We actually won a round, so that's pretty good there. Whenever we go on a big lose streak, like we lost 4 rounds in stage 2, you need to be winning some rounds. If not, we'll be like the guy in last place who's at 60 health. So this next shop, nothing we want here, so we're just going to skip this turn. All right, so who are we facing here? We are facing, oh my god. Imagine hitting Yasuo 3 on stage 3-3. Like, man, there's so many of those players. I really hate that. I really dislike that. So, reroll Yasuo got buffed because they buffed Yasuo. And I said in my meta snapshot, go for this comp if you get a great start for it. What is a great start for this? Well, this guy right here, because he got Yasuo 3-star in stage 3-3, which is completely insane. Maybe he even had it on 3-2. I'm not really too sure. All right, so we got the extra bow. What do we want here? We could go for Last Whisper if we want to go for an Olaf build. And since we already have this Sivir, I'm more inclined to go for Last Whisper than I am to go for Rageblade. Also, Rageblade doesn't exist on this carousel, so just grab the Last Whisper. It works in both Sharpshooter and for the Olaf, so I'm keeping 2 options open right now. It does cut me out of Kale, but that's fine, because again, I saw that other people are going for Kale, so I'll just let them have it, because I don't have any Divine units right now. I don't have any of the Executioners. I don't have Spirit or Mystic in right now, so it's going to be difficult to transfer into the Kale composition from where I am right now. I'd have to do like a full board transition, and oftentimes those can be like very expensive. So you don't always want to do like crazy super duper transitions. Like sometimes it works out, but oftentimes you end up like confusing yourself, or like taking too long, or spend too much gold to try to get to that transition, where it just kind of becomes not worth it anymore. But right now, we're just going to keep the Dragon Soul in. I'm going to keep this Garen most likely because we could play 4 Vanguard on the next level. But yeah, just slam the Last Whisper right away because we're going Olaf or Sivir, either or. I'm down for either, you know? Depends what we hit on level 7. But this guy has 3-star Nidalee. Man, everyone really wanted to reroll on the new patch. I guess it's not like that new of a patch anymore, but it's like, it's certainly not like old by any means. It's been out for what, like 3 or 4 days now? Probably less than that. All right, so we got this Nautilus. Yeah, we're just aiming to go for 4 Vanguards for the next level. Right, in this shop, nothing to do here. So we'll just go to the fight. So right now I'm thinking like, when do I want to sell my Nidalee? Most likely it's going to be on 4-1 because I don't need 4 Sharpshooter. Like Sharpshooter Chosen is great, but you really just need like Sivir 3-star or a new Chosen, and I'm looking for Olaf. So there's a potential to get Olaf Chosen, even though they nerfed the chances for it. It's still something good to go for. I could also go for like Vanguard Chosen from Aatrox or Sejuani. Oh, nice, we won that one here. So not too bad. Like we lose out on another streak, but right now since we're so low, like I'll take all the health I can get. We only lose like 1 gold from that outcome because we would have got 1 extra bonus gold from the lost streak, so that's +2. And then minus the win gold that we just got, it's just like +1 gold right there. So I sell the Sivir, drop the other ones in. I'm going to put in the 4 Vanguards to make sure I don't die to this guy. Or the Wolf Camp, not this guy, the Wolf Camp. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Drop the RFC on Sivir. And then Zeke's is most likely going to go on my Tristana because I'm probably going to sell Tristana. And like, if I do hit Olaf, just sell Sivir. You could find a new one of her pretty easily. So that's a glove and a rod and a Negatron. So then I'm like, wow, QSS sounds pretty fine right now. So I'm probably going to build that. Unlucky that we get the Kale here because we almost had perfect item Kale. If we didn't build the Last Whisper, we could have had QSS, RFC, Rageblade, which I think are the best in slot items on Kale. But we're looking down for this roll down right now. I'm looking for Vanguards. I'm looking for Sharpshooters. And I'm looking for more Sivers, and I'm looking for a good Chosen to play. A lot of times when you roll down on level 7, you don't need to look for like your final Chosen. You could look for just like a placeholder Chosen. So if I got like a Spirit Nico or a Mystic Nico, I might take that because it's honestly a pretty strong thing to play in the mid game. So here I grief my positioning. I don't like fill out my entire team. I'm running like a random Kale, and I've Garen Zeking my Sivir in the back line. My Sivir's not in the corner with an RFC. So I kind of griefed this round. Luckily, we won, but I got to transition faster, guys. You guys know my biggest weakness in this game. It's doing the roll downs because sometimes when I need to roll like 30 to 40 gold, I can't do that unless I'm like playing like 8 games a day. And frankly, I'm just not doing that right now because I'm working full time. So it's kind of difficult to do. But now we can try to reposition. I put Sivir in the corner. And yeah, we'll keep the 4 Vanguards for now. Yeah, Spirit's probably good to put in instead of the Tristana because Teemo's a better unit than Tristana. We get a blind, and then like Spirit gets more attack speed. Attack speed's the exact stat that we want right now. I probably should pick up this Tryndamere because it's not costing me any gold. Because when you go Olaf, even though Quicksilver Sash isn't like a good item on Olaf, because he gets magic immunity, or sorry, spell crowd control immunity when he ultimates, you could put it on Tryndamere instead. So you could just go for Tryndamere for the Quicksilver Sash and then all the other items on Olaf if you so choose, or all the items on Tryndamere. They're both honestly fine. So I do make a mistake of not picking him up here. I think this is the point where I'm like, all right, I'm just going to force this Sivir because like I want to try to do it because I have the loaded dice. If I didn't have loaded dice, like I definitely should be considering Olaf a lot more than I am right now. I guess I should add that to my guide. Like if you get a loaded dice, reroll comps become a lot better. Reroll just means like a 3-star comp. And yeah, this Yasuo with the IE, with the GA, absolutely destroying me right now. 5-unit loss, not feeling too good because we did not have the best start to this game. All right, so what do we want on this carousel? For me, I want another Zeke, so that's a sword for me. But let's see what we get. I could also use this Samira because Samira is a very good sharpshooter. She's like one of the best ones. No, not one of. She is the best one. But unfortunate, can't get that there, so we try to go for the sword. Sword gets taken, so right now I'm like, oh my god, I'm losing every carousel today. Let me know down in the comments if they're like, you feel that some days you just like lose every single carousel. So I grabbed the glove just in case I want to build like a trap claw with that belt, because sometimes trap claw just stuns a very critical target. It's pretty good against Kale if they don't have Quicksilver Sash. A lot of people are running Guardian Angel on Kale right now, so if you run trap claw, It's an easy way to stun her because she does cast pretty early. So yeah, I'm gonna hold off on items there and kind of just chill. When you're doing like a reroll comp, you do what's called a slow roll. That's just rolling down your gold to 50 gold every turn. And yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. I'm not sure if I want to do it at level 7 or level 8. You get a higher chance to get 3 cost units at level 8. However, it costs 56 gold to level up to level 8, so sometimes you're not able to have the luxury of slow rolling on level 8. You have to do it on level 7 in order to find a 3 cost unit. And as you guys can see here, this guy's got perfect item Kale. No match for the Sivir. So if we do get 3-star Sivir and he gets 2-star Kale, we're probably still going to be out damaging him. So kind of cool there because, like, yeah, it's nice to see all the bullets bouncing around. But we get the sharpshooter Sivir, so right now I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go sharpshooter. You guys don't need like a big brain to figure that out, right? So yeah, just replace some of my units here, sell the Garen, drop the Zeeks on the Teemo, and then yeah, place him right in the middle there. All right, so we're against a Nidalee guy again. I'm surprised he's made it this far. He's pretty healthy. He's 60 life and 50 gold, so he must have like greeded a lot. But yeah, we lose to him. Man, I'm very surprised by that. Like, this is probably the only reroll Nidalee I've seen like this entire patch, even though it got buffed. Let me know if you guys tried reroll Nidalee or any of the old reroll 1-cost comps in the comments below. Let me know how it went for you, and like also if you remember, like let me know how many copies of that unit you had by Krugs, which is stage 2-7. So I just realized I probably made a mistake a long time ago. I probably should have just loaded diced my Sivir, just to get 3-star Sivir, save some life. I guess I could like save the loaded dice for Samira since I'm only 1 off. Like I shouldn't need to spend that much gold to find her right now, but I think I do make a mistake by rolling here. I think I should have just loaded dice and then leveled up, or level up and then roll down at level 8 to try to find all the 4-cost vanguards, because those are going to be really strong. That's going to be where like my bigger power spikes come from. That's going to be Sejuani 2 and Aatrox 2. So I definitely make a mistake there. I should have leveled up either on 5-1 or 5-2, or just use my loaded dice like 2 turns ago to find Sivir. The only weird thing about Sivir and loaded dice is that the chance of getting her from a loaded dice is kind of low compared to other champions, and you just need to look at loaded dice calculators to figure out all the odds for that. But as you guys can see here, once you hit this item combination, like she just throws, I don't know what she throws, boomerangs? Not boomerangs. I don't know, like what is this weapon that she's holding? If someone knows the name of it, let me know. But yeah, she just throws them out so quickly with the Zeke's Herald, and she has infinite range and can't get crowd controlled. So it's like you cannot ask for a better like deal than that. Right now I'm running an awkward 3 Vanguard, 2 Mystic, I guess. So I think I just throw in the extra Spirit, right? I'm not really too sure. All right, so this guy's the Kale guy, but he doesn't have Kale yet. That's funny. Wait, no, it's not the Kale guy because he doesn't have the Duelist Spatula. But his team's really weak. He's still looking for Kale. Wait, he's got Kale on his bench. Why isn't he playing it? I'm really confused. He's running like Kindred and Xayah instead. I don't know what he's doing. If someone, yeah, don't be that guy, guys. All right, so new round. Let's see, Sejuani. Maybe he just found the Kale and wasn't able to put it in on time. If I had to guess, that might have happened. All right, so yeah, we just need Samira for this Tristana, and then like we have an extra Yuumi in right now. We could just throw in like any random unit later in the game for that. But right now we don't have much gold to play with, so I'm not gonna roll. All right, so now, okay, this is a duelist guy. Wait, he didn't find Kale. See, this is what happens when you force a comp. You don't always get the comp. You can see here, he had beautiful Kale items, but he's actually going 8th despite having like perfect items for Kale. And that's just because he didn't hit it and he was forcing it too hard. Don't like just slam Duelist Spatula in stage 2. That makes 0 sense. Like, oh man. Like if you hit the Kale, yes, you will probably top 3 with Duelist Kale. But if you don't hit it, you go 8th. Is that worth the trade-off? I don't really know. He could have saved the Spatula. Maybe he gets another Spatula, builds a Force of Nature. Maybe he could go into other compositions instead. Like, lots of different options there, but okay, let's see what we want on this carousel here. I want that Deathblade because I'm expecting to play a Samira here, and Deathblade is a really good item on Samira. I know they changed Samira a little bit, but it's still going to be pretty good. I think maybe it's not like best like by far anymore, but it has to still be good on her because she uses attack damage so well. I guess no one right now really knows what is best in slot in Samira because she's not played that often, and someone needs to like do the math on like which item is the best because at the end of the day, it's just a math equation. It's not really like a by feeling type of thing. So at this point, I just want to maximize my chances for getting Samira. Our board's pretty weak. You can see here, we're running like 3 1-stars. We don't have Aatrox. We're running like freaking Braum instead. Like Aatrox is like infinitely better than Braum. But this 3-star Sivir, ever since we got her, she's just been destroying everyone. We're back at the Nidalee guy. Nidalee beat us before. I think this Nidalee guy beat us twice already. But let's see what Sivir has to say about that. As I told you guys before, this is like, I think like one of the EXODIA builds if you get 3-star Sivir with these 3 items. And yeah, like we're able to beat the Nidalee now. It makes sense because we have a 3-star 3 cost. He has a 3-star 1 cost. But again, like our board, we're running 1-star Janna, 2 1-star Yumis, and we're running like a Tristana as an item holder for someone else, for Samira. Like this Tristana, even with those like 3 really good items, imagine if I had like Olaf 2 and Tryndamere 2 with these items. Like that'd probably do a lot better than the combo I have now if it was only a Sivir 2. But we got Sivir 3, and yeah, she can carry this garbage team that she's like, it's literally just like her and Sejuani that I'm happy about right now. All right, let's look at this guy. This guy's in first place. He's been win streaking. Oh, it's a Yasuo guy. He got 3-star Jax, and he got a duelist spatula off a carousel. Oh, man. I think this is when the lose streak or the win streak ends. Never mind. Dude, I told you guys, like, some people didn't believe me. Some of you guys did believe me, and I'm happy you did. Because I did see some comments recently of like, oh, I tried Sivir and it worked out great. But there were some doubters. They're like, nothing's like a guaranteed win. But like, you look at their boards and then you look at this board, like we could have used loaded dice to find the Sivir as well. Like part of the reason why I went for Sivir is because of the loaded dice, but I misplayed it and I didn't use it. But I could find those compositions a lot easier with the loaded dice anyway. So it's like this particular game, I think it was perfectly fine just to go Sivir because, like, again, you have the dice, so it just infinitely increases the chances of hitting 3 stars. So what did we get here? We got a Guardian Angel. So we have, like, infinite Samira items. Like, we have, honestly, too many for her. I guess we could Deathblade, GA, Last Whisper Samira. If it's 1-star Samira, I like GA more. If it's 2-star Samira, I like Quicksilver Sash more. But it'll just kind of depend on what we get. I'd pick up this Pyke just because... we'll need him later for Slayer buff. Don't ask me why I dropped the GA on him. That was a mistake. I thought I was selling Pyke and like just playing him as an interim unit, but we do need him eventually for Slayer, so that's my bad there. All right, so over here we are facing a Swain 2 and a Samira with Trinity Force and a Olaf. And yeah, it's just rinse and repeat, guys. I'd commentate these games, but you guys already see what happened. It's just Sivir just like throwing boomerangs out and they're just like killing everything. I don't know. Like, theoretically, she doesn't have, like, a true damage item. Last Whisper's, like, a supportish damage item. It, like, I know that sounds weird, but if you compare it to, like, Infinity Edge, which is, like, a pure damage item, and then you compare it to Last Whisper, which is, like, works great with other items. Unlucky on this loaded dice here. I'd use it on Teemo. That's, like, one of the highest chances for Samira, but I'm not able to get it from the loaded dice. Even though I'm level 9, I thought that was pretty unlucky. I'll be honest with you guys, because we got all 3 costs instead. So no Samira yet, but we'll get her soon. Yeah, I sold the Pyke because, again, I realized my mistake. I was playing too quickly. I'm going to drop it on the Braum because I want Aatrox. Wow, we still don't have Aatrox. That's crazy. Lee Sin 2. This guy's got the Keeper Kennen build. Interesting to run Lee Sin in this build because it's kind of anti-synergy with the Kennen. But he kind of gets destroyed here, so that's an easy dub there. All right, we get a Yone and a Swain. Man, I swear to God, we are hitting every legendary except for this Samira. I don't even think anyone else is going Samira. Never mind, there's that one person who was. Did they get knocked out of the game yet? I don't even know. I guess we roll for this. Nope, don't hit it. We do get a Zillion over the, and an Aatrox over the Braum and the Janna that we had before, though. I'm literally just running 2 Yumis and a random Azir right now. Holy cow. And I still have this Tristana. This Tristana's kind of trolling. All right, this is the Yasuo guy. His Yasuo is well positioned right now. He could just start killing our Sivir, and he could win if that happens. Yeah. So are we able to... Okay, never mind. We're able to beat him. Okay, I'll give it to Tristana. She did stuff. She did stuff. It's not all like, it's not all Sivir. She did do some damage that game. And that was only because Yasuo was targeting the other guy. Man, the duelist player got 2 duelist spatulas. That's not fair. All right, it's just a Samira, right? I could get like a frozen heart or something like that. Even like, yeah, it's just Samira because, well, I mean, like we you just need her, but she has -1 item now, so we need to get Samira 2-star to pop the spatula off of her. But I'll take 1 Samira over 0 Samira, so we could probably play her right now. I need to sell this Tristana, and we'll go from there. We get another Aatrox, which is nice. QSS for sure, because we'll need that later in the game, and then Deathblade for sure as well. And then, yeah, this extra Last Whisper, it's kind of just, it's trolling, you know? We also need 1 more Slayer so that we could replace this extra Yuumi and this Azir to play 2 Slayers instead. And yeah, I'm not even going to buff the Samira because I don't expect her to carry right now. We really just need to protect Sivir, so one way to do that, put Azir near her, put the soldiers in front, and like, look at this. The Pyke can't get to Sivir. No one can get to Sivir. She's just throwing the boomerangs, but this, I guess that Samira almost did. And yeah, dude, this comp is way too broken with these items with the 3-star. So we're 1v1 versus the duelist guy now. Again, this guy was win streaking the whole game. He found Yasuo 3 at stage like 3-3, I think it was. And then he gets 2 duelist spatulas from Carousel. That's not fair. Remember the Kale person who had, what's it called? Duelist spatula? Like, that's not even that same person, you know? It's like someone else now. Did I make a mistake here? I could have played 3 Slayer, but I kind of messed that one up. I could have played Tryndamere and Pyke here, but yeah, mistakes happen, whatever. I was probably like panicking because I was like too happy that I was getting another Samira. And I had to sell a bunch of stuff to get the Zillion too. This guy's got 3-star Jax as well. Man, this is a very high roll Yasuo game, if I do say so myself. He's got like great items for him, especially against me. So normally on Yasuo, you want Infinity Edge, Titan's Resolve, and Quicksilver Sash. I think Quicksilver Sash is actually the best item on Yasuo. However, I am not running Adepts, and I forget to buy Pyke. Holy cow, I don't deserve to win this game, honestly. I'm like making so many mistakes. But Quicksilver Sash is very important against Adepts, very important against Sejuani's and Aatrox's, obviously. Pretty much just any CC, they could really mess with Yasuo. That's why I really recommend QSS over Guardian Angel. However, since I'm not running Adept, this Yasuo gets to get away with running the Guardian Angel instead. So he gets a Sunfire Cape. That's not bad. We got a Guardian Angel. That's really good. I'm going to drop that on my other Samira most likely, or the Sejuani, or Zillion even. I think all of those work. Hopefully I'm smart enough to buy the Slayers in my shop this time, though, because, I mean, I guess Samira isn't level 2, so she shouldn't really be carrying. But it'd be nice to get Slayers. Man, I skipped one there. What am I even looking for in these rolldowns if not that? I guess just Samira 2-star. Okay, I do pick up the Slayer there, so okay. All right, so 2 Yones. I don't need Yone. I should... Oh, wait, no, I'm buying Yone because he's looking for Yone. That's why I did that. So Aatrox 2, big upgrade there. And yeah, just drop the GA on, yeah. It doesn't really matter who at this point. Yeah, I forgot why I bought the Yones, but like it's because he's looking for Yone 2-star because he's Yasuo player. They both give Exile. But let's look at this fight. Is this the last fight? I can't tell. So he puts his Yasuo to that side. He should have kept it on the right side because that's how he killed my Sivir the other time, right? But now he puts it on the far side. He has to walk all the way to kill my Sivir. I guess he still can do it. Oh, man. That's actually really close. But the fight before wasn't as close, and that's because he has his Yasuo on the other side, I'm pretty sure. But we get the Samira 2-star here. Hop off the spatula there. That's huge. And we pick up this Tryndamere. We are looking for 1 more Slayer. There's a Zed in our shop. So we could just drop a Azir for this Zed. And yeah, we're chilling now. Samira should be able to go off at this point. Don't ask me why I put her in the front line. I did that like twice this game. I moved her eventually, but like it's kind of weird that I like defaulted to putting her so far up. It's because they changed her range, so I get like confused sometimes. Okay, he put his Yasuo on the right side this time. I probably should have recognized that and repositioned, but yeah, whatever. This is probably the last game because we're both at 17 and 16 health, and it's stage 5. All right, so okay, it's a little close. But his Yasuo went to the Aatrox instead of my Sivir, so that's how I win, I guess. Do I? Okay, that was a close one, guys. So I know I said it's auto win, and we almost lost there, but honestly, this guy hit that Yasuo so dang early, and he got 2 duelist spatulas from Carousel, and he hit Yone. Like, holy cow, we're still able to beat that. We beat all the Kales, beat all the Olafs, beat everything else, and we got smashed in the early game. Remember stage 2, we were on a huge lose streak, a 4 lose streak, and then we won a round randomly when we purposely were trying to lose. And yeah, it wasn't like the best start. We did hit like 1 Sivir, or sorry, 2 Sivers in an early shop, which was nice to give us direction. We also had really good items, but I'm telling you guys, like, even with that horrible start, we didn't get Sivir 3 like super duper early. We got it like midway through stage 5. I know a lot of people that get like their 3-star 3 costs, such as like Shyvana, Nico in like stage 4. But we got Sivir pretty late actually. And we were still able to pull out the win because of the item combination and getting her to 3-star. Again, it's like an EXODIA build, so if you guys do get great starts for this, such as with the items or with the champions or both preferably, I highly recommend going for this. This is why it's A tier, because I think it's really strong if you hit it. Obviously, if you don't hit it, you're still going to do all right. You're just not going to do as well. You need a different item combination. So if you only get 2-star Sivir and you're stuck with 2-star Sivir, drop the defensive item or put like Infinity Edge on her. Because like the build RFC, Quicksilver, and Last Whisper, like none of them are like pure damage items. RFC is more of like a protection item, and Quicksilver Sash is another defensive item. And then Last Whisper, it's not like a super high damage item. It's just good on her because it bounces around everywhere. But if you don't get 3-star Sivir, you need stuff like Infinity Edge. You want stuff like Runons, maybe even like double Runons. Like you could still use the Last Whisper, obviously, or a QSS, but you don't want like 2 defensive items. So you could run like RFC, i.e. Last Whisper, or QSS, Runon's Infinity Edge, stuff like that. So just mix and match, try some things out. Obviously, these items can go on so many different other characters, so you're not forced to go the Sivir comp if you're stuck on 2-star Sivir as well. So lots of different options there. Hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I'll see you guys next time.